So you like cards, upgrades, combos, decks, and maybe you've played a very popular game Slay the Spire. Here are 6 more roguelike deck builders to fuel your addiction. Starting with the newest game on my list, Balatro. Balatro is the Latin word for jester, and this game is filled with jester cards, 150 in total. And this game is no joke, if you know what I mean.
Oh, hell no, man.
It's a poker style deck builder game. The better your hand, the bigger your score. Try to get the typical poker hands to ensure the most points, like a straight, a full house or a royal flush. But just as in real poker, the only hands you'll be getting are 2s and 7s, if you know what I mean. Don't worry, I didn't know this either. The game packs all sorts of cool looking premium joker cards to influence your rounds. Try to get through each round by achieving the minimum required points indicated above your round score. And at the end you will face a boss round that is more difficult with extra negative effects like disable 1 joker every turn. But don't be scared, the jokers in this game will help you out. Buy different kinds of jokers between rounds to get the best combination possible. Like this delicious banana, bananas. So don't worry, the combinations are endless, so tinker as much as you want. To complete the campaign mode with all 8 difficulties, there are also different challenges, daily runs and seeded runs. This game isn't big at all, only needing 1 GB of RAM and 150 MB of storage space to play. The game is sold at a low price of €30.99 on Steam, so it's really not that draining for either your PC or your wallet. The aesthetics of the game are just beautiful. Just look at the different kind of card rarities like foiled cards, holographic ones, polychromic and negative. Combined with the ever-moving smudged background, you get a constant psychedelic effect when playing the game. The animations are also really smooth, and the synthwave soundtrack is a real bonus to the whole package. If you like to hop into a game without much hassle, give it a try. If you want to shit your pants more than play a game, then Inscryption is something for you. This game uniquely blends roguelike deck building, escape room puzzles, and psychological horror. The immersion you get in this game is great. While Balatro doesn't have a storyline, Inscryption does. You start with a basic deck, choose your path on the roadmap and defeat all alter egos of your captor. Each roadmap ends with a disturbing and unique boss battle. In between battles you are free to explore the strange cabin where you're being held. The game includes themed interactions between card fights like a mad surgeon, stitching your cards together to make them stronger, or cannibals upgrading your cards. However, be aware, they will eat your cards if you make them too powerful. The game has a mysterious and dark storyline that goes much deeper than you might think. Inscryption gives you the whole horror aesthetic package, from the daunting environment to the ominous sound effects that signals that something is about to happen. And of course the soundtrack in this game unforgettable. I encourage you to play this game alone in the dark to fully immerse yourself in its atmosphere. So if you're not scared, keep your lights off. You have to play this game for yourself to see how far the story goes, and the replayability isn't as big as Balatro, but I guarantee you won't be disappointed. A lesser known game on this list is Pirate Outlaws. Where Pirate Outlaws gameplay wise is not all that different from Slay the Spire, Pirate Adventure Team is a breath of fresh air compared to the dark dungeon vibes of Slay the Spire. So if you enjoy playing as an explorer, cursed captain, or even a huntress with a bear, no, I meant bear, not a beard. Pirate Outlaws has it all. I will warn you, this game is very addictive. So you take on the role of a pirate, you navigate treacherous seas, battle enemies in a horizontal front to back style formation, and fill your deck with pirate themed attacks. It has the same roadmap design as Inscryption, but look out, you need to repair your ship in time, otherwise you will lose your whole run, and that's pretty sad. Pirate Outlaws requires 8 GB of RAM, 1 GB of storage, with 16 unlockable pirates, more than 700 cards and 200 relics. You can keep yourself busy for a while, but I will warn you, the game was originally designed for mobile. Maybe on Steam it's a bit different, but reviews are very positive, so you can still give Pirate Outlaws a try. The next game on my list is my favorite one, called Wildfrost. In the Wildfrost you begin by choosing a leader from one of 3 different factions. Each faction has its own unique set of cards, and the leaders you can choose from are randomized with every run. The rules are simple. If your leader dies, your run is over. One of the standout mechanics in Wildfrost is the countdown system. Every card on the field, both friend and foe, has a countdown timer. And when the timer hits 0, that card activates its abilities and attack if possible. This card, for example, can hit all your cards on the field and can only take a maximum of 1 snow. As you can see, they use icons in the cards instead of words, so you can understand the effects quicker. When the card is about to strike, the timer turns red, which makes it easy to identify. Positioning is crucial in this game. You have 2 rows and 3 spots per row. Typically, the frontline allies will take the hits for your other cards, but be careful. Some enemies have special attack patterns, or can attack multiple times. The game is more challenging than it appears. It's easy to overlook how the cards will interact, and when you see your leader falling into the abyss, all you can do is facepalm and wonder, how did I not see that coming? To strengthen your team, you can choose one companion to start with, and along the way you'll encounter frozen travelers who can join your ranks. You can also boost your cards with special charms, and you must choose wisely which cards to enhance. For example, you might boost the attack power of companions already on the field, or improve attack cards that remain in your deck. The choice is yours. Each round also features a boss encounter. Sometimes they appear at the end of the round, ready to finish you off. Other times, bosses will engage you right from the start, and some even have a second phase, but I won't spoil them all for you. I'll just say that each one is unique in its own way. Now let's talk about the aesthetics of the game, and whoa, they are impressive. Wildfrost is truly beautiful to look at. When you're in the city of Snowdwell, you feel safe. Even though there aren't many story elements or areas to explore, the town, which acts as a menu, is a joy to navigate through. This cozy feeling extends to the game's roadmap. Each small animation has its own sound effect, whether it's the roadmap being drawn, frozen travelers being freed from the ice, or the muffled music coming from the shop when you're outside. And don't think the game is over once you defeat the boss. You can increase the storm's strength to make your future runs even harder. I won't spoil every detail because that's for you to discover. All I can say is give Wildfrost a try. Griftlands. At first you might think this is just Slay the Spire set in a futuristic setting. Objection! Griftlands isn't just a typical 2D horizontal card fighter like Pirate Outlaws, which I mentioned before. Griftlands has rich storylines. You can play up to 3 unique character campaigns, each with their own objectives, struggles and more. Next to the card combat, you also have to negotiate with other characters, and this is where Griftlands shines. The negotiation rounds also have a unique deck to battle your enemies with cards like Fast Talk, Intimidate, Intrigue, Threaten and more. You battle it out with words like real politicians instead of your fists, so if you're a pacifist you can try to manipulate the outcome without violence. I have to admit, storytelling games combined with the roguelike deck building mechanics aren't really my style. Roguelike deck building is usually meant for quick play sessions, and when you add in a lot of dialogue and story, it can feel a bit too drawn out for my taste. I enjoy the genre because I can play it in short bursts, but hey, don't take my word for it. If you're a fan of the clean-lined cyberpunk art style, set on a sci-fi planet where you use different kinds of decks and where every decision you make in conversations matters, then you should definitely give Griftlands a try. I'll give you one alternative game that doesn't quite fit the list, but can definitely fuel your addiction to randomness: Dicey Dungeons. On Steam it's categorized as a roguelike deck builder, but it's really not. It's more of a dice-based roguelike. Instead of using cards, you utilize puzzle pieces that require dice to deal damage to enemies. You're invited to a show dungeon with cute, vibrant graphics, hosted by Lady Luck herself. Choose one of 6 characters and navigate through the dungeon maze. You'll battle all kinds of cartoony enemies, like a ferocious feisty frog, who loves winning but apparently doesn't like it when things take too long. Or an octopus, and I almost beat that thing, but yeah, I missed again. I had a low roll, yeah, I lost this one. And it might look simple, but you'll need to keep a sharp eye. One wrong move can lead to disaster. So roll your dice, activate your equipment and abilities, and conquer this charming dungeon. The last game on my list is Monster Train, and this time you're playing the evil monsters. Choose a primary clan with a leader, pick a support class, and position your units on the burning train, all while defending the lost forces of hell from the onslaught of heaven. I recently unlocked this charming fellow, Titus Titansbane. Isn't he a cutie? Where Monster Train really shines is that the train you're riding has multiple sections. Enemies flood in from the lower floors and climb all the way to the top. Summon your minions to the upper floors and drive all that's good away. Be gone, warriors of God! Because you're not only managing your horizontal battle lines, you need a lot more tactical depth for this one. And they skipped it. But don't worry. A monster train, the core of your train will attack any enemies that make it to the final floor. It's powerful enough to handle weaker foes, but be careful. If a boss reaches this floor, your chances of survival are very slim. Between battles, you can choose to follow the left or right tracks to strengthen your deck and leader, with extra cards, core upgrades, cash and more. Before starting the next fight, you can enable buffs for the enemies, and if you manage to defeat them with these buffs active, you'll earn extra bonuses afterwards. Once you start playing Monster Train, you'll definitely want to reach the end of the tracks. Sometimes your leader and minions won't be strong enough to stop the bosses from entering the last floor. This can leave you feeling a bit underwhelmed because at this point it's all up to the train's core. You can also see the outcome of each floor's battle in advance, which might make you feel powerless if you can't change the outcome with the cards in your hand. Personally, I'm not really a fan of the art style used in Monster Train, but the challenge in the game is definitely there. If you like this one, take a shot at Monster Train and defend the forces of evil. If you like this video, give it a like, and if you want to see more videos like this in the future, subscribe to the channel. Till next time.